Listen, I think it was a national pastime to take good collectible coins and destroy them. Well, silver has changed, but they're selling for much closer to spot, or almost exactly spot.
So if I wanted to get cheap gold, I noticed you have a tube here. Can you, where is it? Right there.
They're very close to spot price.
SD Bullion is at it again, but this time with a monster box full of Silver Tree of Life coins. Enter today at sdbullion.com/sweepstakes. Morgans. Tim, have you ever had someone bring in Morgans and all of a sudden you saw a phenomenal date that was like, wow?
Well, every now and then you find a good one. But, I mean, something like these are actually culls.
Yeah, that one's worn.
And, the 21s are like peace dollars. They just don't have the same value. Most of these are fairly natural. They don't look like they've been seriously cleaned. It actually looks like it was in a fire or something. It was in something like a craft envelope. It gets that dull
for
finish
about
to it.
50 years.
Was it?
Yeah.
Wow.
I bought it when I was a kid.
You bought that when you were a kid?
I bought this one when I was in junior high school.
Yeah, in junior high school I had a paper route, and I had two bankers on the route, and the paper cost $1.05 every week. And every week they give me a Morgan silver dollar and like a Liberty nickel.
Oh, wow.
And so I had to go to work for my father so I could keep these from the paper company.
Right, yeah. I have some coins, they're still in the bag, in the bag, that are pre-1964 or earlier.
Yep.
That aren't, are they worth anything more?
Dimes, quarters, and half dollars are, yes.
Oh, okay, so we can take a look at those.
Yep. Okay. If the key dates are 16D and then the 221s, and if they're anything else, they're worth more as silver.
Okay.
Yeah, those are a large cents.
A large cents. Well, I don't know coins. Oh yeah, 1 cent. Yeah. You want to look at them?
Sure.
What key dates do you know of in large sense?
The early ones are key. In the 1840s and 50s, they're not nearly as much. And the condition is everything. The 1818 is a decent coin with a decent value, but it came out of the ground. That was found with a metal detector. That's 53. I mean, you can see the stark difference between the two. This has some corrosion and this one doesn't. But it makes a big difference in the value.
My in-laws cleaned out their house and moved years ago. We ended up with this big, huge collection of all sorts of stuff, all sorts of junk. I had some time and I sat and thought, holy crap, look at some of this stuff.
You have a couple that one that has no date would have a $1 value according to the book. This is a dealer price guide. When I added it up, came to $93. I would easily, because of the better ones, give you $100 for the 10 of them.
It's fine. He can grade, I can't.
Yeah,
and so I
that's
wouldn't
the key.
know,
Right.
looking at the coin has a lot of detail, but it was in the ground. I don't know,
Right.
So he knows.
Yeah, he can grade things pretty accurately with his eyes. How are your eyes doing?
Well, I need to make an appointment to have them examined. Let me put it that way. Yeah, these are like $585. These are $150, and these are $100. So they're bringing a lot of value. This would be a nice coin as an 1809, but it has all these cuts all the way around it. Like somebody really hated it for some reason.
On the rim?
Yeah.
You think that was intentional, Tim?
Listen, I think it was a national pastime to take good collectible coins and destroy them. Of coins that I've bought over the years, I've probably seen many more that had scratches or initials in them or something than I've seen pristine
yeah.
coins.
Have you ever seen like one that would have been worth tens of thousands if it hadn't been mangled?
Maybe not that much, but
Okay.
something that was probably worth $1,000. And you know, I've had a $17.99 that I sent out for certification, and it came back, you know, details with intentional damage. It said. Now, yeah, and it had scratches in it, but their claim was somebody had started to scratch their initials. I couldn't make out the initials, but it definitely had man-made scratches. But it lowered the price by about $2,000.
Wow, that's so sad. Is there anything, Tim, that is just so rare condition doesn't even matter? Like something that is just not seen at all. So even in
Well, I
poor
mean,
condition.
there are some very rare, like in 1895 in Philadelphia, the Morgan dollars were all proofs, and there were just a few of them. I mean, the number that exists are between 800 and 1,000, I think. But they're you know, the last one I saw, you know, I sold one for 44,000, I think it was, and then there was one I recently saw that was over 50,000.
Wow.
And they're going to go up every year because they're rare. Now, if you had one that was had some damage, it would still have value, even though it had damage. And then the 1856 Flying Eagle penny is another one. If it has some
1858
damage,
Flying Eagles.
Oh,
yeah, 57, 58 is the only ones you see. The 56 was,
this is the 58.
again, they made about 800 of them.
What is that one, Tim?
That I think that's the year they reduced the size of all the silver coins, because the ratio changed from 16 to 1 to 25 to 1.
What is that?
That's a dime.
Oh, what's the date on that one?
1834.
The size of the coin changed due to the ratio.
That's how that's how they changed the ratio. They made the silver coins smaller. There's some people like Thomas Jefferson who thought the ratio should have been pegged at 25 to 1 in the beginning. And they started out 16 to 1, and it didn't keep the silver that they were producing in the country. It started to go fly out of the country.
What's that one worth?
It's a tough one. I would say it's worth $15. You know, when I first looked at it, I thought maybe it was $10 coin, but
Oh, I appreciate that.
yeah, that L is absolutely gone. It's an Iberty.
Do you miss the coin collecting side of your business, Tim?
Kind of, but it's a lot more time consuming. If you don't want to make a mistake grading a coin, the amount of time that we've been just involved with gold and silver, it's taken a big chunk out of the collecting market. And you know, a lot of people who potentially were collecting coins are just not doing that anymore.
I'm looking at a bunch of silver here.
Silver and
I
gold.
see
yeah.
gold that you just bought from someone. I see some constitutional, some rounds. There's the eagle, and oh my goodness, an entire board of huge 100-ounce silver bars and kilo back there. That there's so much to choose from, Tim. What should people be focusing on with silver and gold?
Well, silver is still the same thing. I mean, if we come to a barter situation, you want to have something that, you know, to cover all the bases. You want to have enough silver to use for large purchases or small purchases. And you have a lot of options. In silver, you have a tremendous number of options.
Something you shared with me on this is what the wholesaler is doing with buying these back.
Well, silver has changed specifically with 100-ounce bars. A lot of people were buying them to have silver that they could convert to either gold or smaller silver. We've done a lot of that in the last 2 years. At one point, we had about 2,500 ounce bars. I didn't have to wholesale any of those. We have a lot of 100 ounce bars now, but the pricing is much more favorable than it used to be.
Really?
Because we're not getting the same amount from the wholesalers because they're bringing in a lot of 100 ounce bars.
But when people
So-
go to sell it back to you, are they coming in surprised
That
what
they're
they're
getting
for
a
it?
little less than spot, that is true, yes. And that does surprise most people, but they're selling for much closer to spot or almost exactly spot.
So be aware of that. I mean, if you're holding, if you want the weight in a package like that, don't expect to get a high premium back. You might even get it a little below spot. It's
Yeah,
possible.
right now that is the situation.
Has that always been the case?
No, usually there was a time when 100 ounce bars were hard to get, and that was maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay.
Whereas now there are lots of 100 ounce bars in the system, but we have such a good selection of 1 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce bars, and
Oh, that's crooked. Why is that?
some guy came in here and rearranged them.
That doesn't
Oh,
look
it
very
was you,
professional.
wasn't
Oh. 5 ounce, 10 ounce. 10 ounce I saw. Actually, could you pull the gold tray out? Underneath the gold tray, I had put 10 ounce bars there.
Are they still there?
I did. I put the 10 ounce underneath that. Be careful. Seriously.
Oh, this
Tim.
is really heavy.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, yes, you put some NTR bars. I think there were 10 or 15 of them.
There's 10 of those.
So what did he take? Silvertown or these?
He took a little of each.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, he wanted both designs. He said, I'm never selling it. I'm just going to give it to my kids if I don't need it. And I wanted to get something that they might find interesting. So that was kind of cool.
So he took 40 and 40?
Correct.
Okay, that's good.
There. Ooh. There's a picture. He liked these.
It's a nice bar.
That is a nice bar. That's a nice mound of silver right there. Sheesh. So if I wanted to get cheap gold, I noticed you have a tube here. Can you, where is it? Right there.
Oh,
right
the
there.
one that says imperfect?
Yes! The one that says imperfect.
They're very close to spot price. And they're maple leaves, if they're not kept in some sort of plastic, will get scratched fairly easily. So they're
Soft
not
gold.
perfect, but I sell them for an imperfect price.
Wow. Okay, so that to me is a very compelling target when I'm looking at, especially sovereign gold there. That's something that I might actually be interested in getting. So maybe there won't be any
Well-
when you see this video. I don't know.
Yeah, just write me a check.
Write you a check. Yeah. So how's the cash situation been?
It's not desperate, but I still, when I put it in an account, I still have to pay a fee. And when people send me gold and they want me to send a check back to them, I have to tell them, you have to give me time to put the cash in the account to write you a check. Because all the money that's in the account is for buying things from a wholesaler.
And we've been seeing quite a few people coming in selling. In fact, I think we have someone coming up. I don't want to hold you up. Why don't you come on up and do your business? We have someone selling gold. Is that right? Whoa, gold bars. Was the price going over, what is it now, 24 and change? Is that a determining factor for you selling the gold?
Yep. I decided that 2,400 was a psychological threshold. I wanted to see it go past. And I mean, basically, I bought these last fall when gold was like 2,000. And so figured if I get 20% on them in 6 months, it was a pretty good return.
All set.
All right.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.